This is a note to myself for the next month. Things aren't working out, Raf. You owe about $1,000 in 3 days. You owe about 1,900 plus 700 in 2 weeks after that, and in 2 weeks after that you owe 1,200 plus 600. That's basically 3 weeks. And then there was a setback recently that costed that extra $1,000. And you didn't join the oil field, you decided to do Uber because you wanted to do more consistent growth. Okay, so here's my message to you, the RAF. You can't think right now. I know you can't think right now. And when you're working those 80-hour weeks, or maybe 90 actually, 90 to 100, and plus 80 hours weeks, plus 73 hours of driving, 15 hours of driving to charging stations and charging, and 10 to 15 hours of exercise. You can't think. Every so often you get emotional. Why? Because I could tell, because when your mom visited 2 days ago, you had you took a day off and you started to hung out with people for the first time in a while, and you realized, oh wow, I enjoy having free time, and also you were able to think a little bit straighter. And why did I mention that? To mention that is because that's what you want. You don't want to work in the oil field, because you know that if you work in the oil field, you're gonna go straight 90 days again, and you're not gonna get anything out of it. You're gonna have money, you're gonna pay off your debt, but why are you here right now? Because with training, so if anyone missed it, the RAF did the Trans Am bike race, a 4,200 mile bike race, and if you look at the last video about the million, I'm gonna watch that again, but right now I can't. I'm not gonna watch it right now, but you finished a 4,200 mile bike race and you got insights. You found out you had 5 days of flow state, where everything just flowed perfectly in a way that never did in your entire life. You had 1 day flow states, but you never had 5 day flow states. It was really trippy, and I tell that to all my, I'll explain that in another video maybe. Now that I deleted memory on my phone. And also, you're gonna learn how to write, the RAF. You're gonna learn how to write. You're gonna learn how to, for Instagram stuff, you're gonna learn how to write in between rides, and you're gonna do that right now while you're doing all that work mode. And so you're gonna figure out how to get out of this cycle while you're doing Uber, and also you're gonna take bad advantage of power training. So it might seem like you're not making money for 30, 60, 90 days, and you're gonna be thinking, oh, I probably would have made more money in the oil field if I did the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Because that means that I could have just made 4,800 take home after tax, and I could have just taken 2 weeks off and had 2 whole weeks for cycling, when right now you only have like an hour a day or less for cycling. First of all, you could have more if you manage your time wisely. You could probably have 30 minutes to an hour more if you manage it wisely with your eating. Second of all, right now you're not even thinking. So when you can think straight, like just pay off the massive, like, what is it, 4 or 5 grand you have to pay right now in 30 days. Just focus on that, and then worry about the other things. Do not do the oil field. Do not do the oil field. Do not buy a new car, because if you learned from training for the Trans Am bike race, when you were training for the Trans Am bike race, every time you got somewhere, what happened? What happened every time you entered you switched paths to make more money, and you lost more time and money. This way, you don't gotta lose anything. If you do the oil field, you lose a month of time and money. That's the month you could have paid, and now the timeline to win the race that you're trying to win next year. So the whole goal is to win the race next year and to become the person that you want to be, and be around the people that you like to be with, like with the kind of people you like to be around, which is completely far right now. You're completely off, but you've seen it. You've seen the light, and you saw what you wanted. And you saw that during the Trans Am bike race. You saw who you wanted to be around. But you can't get it. So it's like you're being teased. But the whole point was maybe that if you go to the oil field, you're not going to get growth. If you could do what you did in Trans Am in real life, you can get a lot of growth. But you haven't been able to do that because unlike Trans Am, so in Trans Am race, it's 4,200 miles, and I learned a lot, and I'll have to explain this later, but in the beginning, I did what I thought I had to do. And times I tried to catch up, I slept a lot. I barely slept, and I would do 270 miles to catch up. And in the end, I would average only 110 a day when I'm supposed to be averaging 160 a day. And then the last 5 days, I got to ride with a really good rider, and that rider made me sleep more, and I was able to get more done. And every single metaphor of like blah 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 that related to life related to Trans Am, because when you're in that extreme kind of race, it's like high highs, low lows. Okay, but anyway, Raf, because you're gonna be listening to this on repeat. What you need to do, Raf, is you need to just it's getting hot. You just need to pay off as much as you can, and it's not going to take you 4 weeks, it's going to take more, because anytime it takes 4 weeks, it takes 6. It's going to take you 6, even though I know you're going to try for 4, right? And then you're going to take a little mini loan. That's what always happens afterwards. You're going to take a mini loan to cover what you can't cover, right? But it's only going to take, you're going to complete this. You're going to pay off all $4,000 or $5,000, do an Uber. You're going to realize that you could get a little bit emotional because you're doing this many hour weeks, but you want to take naps when that happens. Like right now, it's a normal state. But if you start thinking about, why don't no one invited me here? This person hates me. My neighbor doesn't wave. That means you're going nuts. That means you have to sleep. Also, you need to sleep more, like in Trans Am. Don't sleep 4 or 5 hours. Sleep 6, 7 hours. You'll get more done. Passengers will be happier. Other thing, you'll be able to converse with passengers and get more money in tips. How many minutes are we at? 6 minutes, pretty good. You just want it for the next month, the RAF. You just need to be able to get to the point where you can think. And like Rob Dieterich says in his pretty good videos, you got to work on everything all at once. So anything you want, write it down. Make a checklist of what you want to do every day and complete the checklist. Just one checklist. Because you keep listening to all these YouTube videos, and there's so many YouTube videos. All you got to do is one thing every day, one checklist every day, and listen to the same videos. So write the 3 Rob Dieterich videos that completely apply to your life and do them. And then, Raf, this is how you work. I know you. You're going to have temptation to deviate. Every single time, every single moment in time, even in Trans Am, in the beginning of Trans Am, oh, I'm going to be a nurse assistant. Oh, I'm going to be a hotel chauffeur. Oh, and what happened in the end? You went back to just a $12 an hour minimum wage job and blew through 3 or 4 or 5. You blew through 10 grand of tax money, Raf. Anyway, because it's a repeat message. What you're going to do is you're going to do that, and then don't buy a car on financing, even though you're so tempted to. Don't buy the car on financing, because that will put you down in 30 grand in debt. You're going to be in good stable financial situation after Trans Am, or on the route to Trans Am, but you have to be able to give yourself time to think, because you keep forgetting about that, because you forgot how things were. Watch the old videos of Trans Am. Watch how you were. You were different. You're not how you are right now. And, okay, now the next video, I'm going to make a repeat video that I'm going to listen to on repeat, because this has too much fluff in it.